You didn't miss anything.
Well, hello. We're here. For real this time. And actually streaming again. Because it's been a long time since we've done this. It's been like, I think, 3 weeks.
I apologize for last week.
Oh, no, I mean, we're all good. I've had 3 weeks to work on stuff. And as Broius will tell you, I have not worked on anything. I ended up doing some work today for it, but my pets would not leave me alone, so I did not get much done.
That's a very valid excuse.
Yep.
So, who remembers what happened last week?
We found a speakeasy, and then we got locked in a room so that we had to listen to a radio broadcast.
And then the police
cops showed
raided
up
the
and we
speakeasy.
ran.
And we all went into the pawn shop that Emily and I had gone into earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's where we were hiding, I think, from the police.
From the police.
So, where are you guys going now?
I mean, what are our leads right now?
Well, you had 2 people to investigate, and
they're both dead.
Ended up dead.
Even against all of my best intentions, they ended up dead.
Yeah. I was really hoping I could just draw X's over their eyes in the photos, but it won't let me.
Aww.
I was going to say, neither of them survived first contact with our player characters.
Yeah, they weren't even alive when you got there. Like, they died because you were going to show up, as far as you know. Like, they didn't even get to that stage of first contact.
Question.
Answer.
Is there a reason I have 2 fate points?
Because I haven't reset anything.
Oh, okay, cool. Just... I thought maybe you just, like, hated me specifically.
Oh, no. I mean, Tom doesn't have any, so...
I have no fate.
Specifically, it's not you.
Yeah, but Tom was 5 minutes late with tech issues, so, I mean, just because you hate him more doesn't mean you don't hate me.
I mean, I guess fair.
No
So
offense, Tom.
I guess the pages are a lead. We've been attacked by somebody with, like, who claimed he was a page, or he had, like, a page on him or something, so we assumed he was a page. But maybe he wasn't, so I guess we could reach out to the pages.
Steps was the word I was
Yeah, you've also been told that they are the ones, like, terrorizing the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do we trust the person who told us that?
That's a great question.
James
I don't know why he wouldn't. He's a chill guy.
Who was it that told us?
James
Halifax, yeah. We could always go talk to the rumor mill again. Maybe the rumor mill has some rumors to mill.
They are an informant, so if you ever need to know where someone is, that's not a bad plan.
And then Jay and Rin are just a good time.
They are just a good time?
Yes, they are.
So, I guess those are our leads.
There were wasn't there 2 separate places that the pages could have been going in the city? One was on the south side, and I forget what the other one was.
The Slims?
The Slims. I kept thinking the Narrows. Yeah.
No, the Narrows is from the last campaign.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's where my brain
was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got...
Slims.
Oh, thank you.
We can go to the south side or the Slims.
It's not for you. I want you to taste it, because Mitchell said it tastes like chemical. I don't think so.
Tastes off.
It tastes weird?
Yeah, it tastes weird.
Dang, now I'm gonna die.
So you're not gonna die.
Okay, have fun.
You too. I'm sorry.
My favorite section of this campaign is when we talk about what food does and does not taste like chemicals.
That's what I was like, what tastes like chemicals?
She just came into my room and she handed me a Pepsi from Taco Bell, and she's like, I need you to taste this.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. Pepsi is a chemical, I'm pretty sure.
I was going to
It
say, I
didn't
think
taste like Pepsi, though.
all food, I think, is chemicals on some level. So
I do love whenever people are like, oh, it's just kind of like a chemical taste to them. Like, I mean, because it's made of chemicals generally. That's how food works. That's how a lot of things work, really.
I think they mean like cleaning chemicals, though.
I know that's what they mean, but when people don't say that, it just makes it sound like they're afraid of chemicals as a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my vote is to go check out the rumor mill.
Do we
figure
have
if we
any
get
leads on where she is?
the normal inn we hang out at.
Yeah, she was at the hotel before.
Yeah.
I mean, she also told you how to find her one time.
Oh, I don't remember that.
She
I
said
wasn't taking notes.
to ask around. Yeah, wow. Maybe if you did take notes, you'd be able to remember this information.
So what did you say, bro?
I said that I wasn't taking notes.
Oh.
I was taking notes, and now they're gone.
See, look, if you take notes but you can't keep notes, then you're in the same boat.
Took notes, and then the notes got took.
Oof.
Full of a took. Sorry, it was there.
Next time I'll throw myself in.
Yeah, so she said to just ask around for her and she'll find you within a quarter.
Whatever that means.
Probably 15 minutes.
Quarter of an hour, yeah.
So, I say we go to the hotel and we ask around after her.
But, like, what are we gonna ask her when we find her? That just kind of seems like a waste of her time.
I was going to ask, what directions can she give us for the Slims and for the south side for finding people, because we'd be going to those areas with really not much of a lead other than there might be somebody there. So if we can figure out a way to get a better grip on the lead, that would help a lot.
Isn't she the
These
one?
the people that we tried to get and they died?
Isn't she also the one who told us about the magic dome around the city, like where to go to encounter that?
Yes.
She did, yes.
So why don't we go ask her like directly about that? The magic dome around the city.
We could also ask her about the pages.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
a lot we could ask her.
I just wanted to make sure we thought that through before we went and found her, and then we're just like, oh, hey, hi, hi, hi. Why are we here? We don't know.
You tricked us that one time.
Oh gosh, not that again.
Boozled again.
All right, so we're gonna head to the hotel.
What the fuck?
Is that not where you wanted us to go?
No, I'm trying to import something to like give you guys, and it's like not only is the image not actually attaching to it, it's just falling through the table.
Oh, I just saw it happen.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing it,
And
yeah.
I don't know why.
You got this, Dom.
Cool that
We
this
had-
thing that I've done literally hundreds of times by now for this campaign suddenly doesn't work anymore.
We head back to the hotel.
I guess we'll just. I'll go up to the hotel concierge, and I'll ask him if. Shit, do I just say the rumor mill?
Yeah, that's what her name is.
Yeah, I'll just ask him if he knows where the rumor mill is.
Interesting.
It's better to stay indoors.
What is happening?
Oh.
I saved it as a PNG, did I not? What is happening? This is like the strangest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen it like have this much trouble.
I saw it for a second.
It's a PNG. Why is it not working? really need it to work. This is a really like fun thing I was gonna give you guys, so that you could actually know what's happening.
That's exciting. We like knowing
Is it
what's
a quarter
happening.
that she comes out of?
Yeah, that's definitely exactly it. And nothing
Like a literal 25-cent piece that she's looking at.
No, they were at command.
In the meantime, Dom, can you just like put it in the chat?
Hold on. Let me try this real quick, and if not, then I will.
Like, we got that whole information tab over here. It could go over there and live.
For some reason, it just breaks. Is this PNG like 8 million by 7 million or something? Is that what's going on?
Oh crap! I forgot to make the aspect last week or 3 weeks ago.
And you've had all this time.
Not access to the stuff.
Alright, cool. I'll just put it in there once I get to it. Anyways, so you begin making your way from Bunsaw Market, or Sawbone Market, which, by the way, is in this lens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that will change anything about what you're doing.
I will say.
No, I still want to go back to the hotel.
Cool. You will.
Be nice to not be in the area after a raid had just happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's always better.
As you turn one of the corners, you run straight into someone you know pretty well. And she looks up at you and is like, "Hey, there you guys are. I've been looking for you."
Hey, we were just looking for you.
Like, hey, that's cool. Funny how that works. What do you guys need?
300.
Is there a place we can talk a little bit more privately?
I mean, yeah, you can come to my office.
Do you have an
Yeah,
office?
Yeah, come here. And she just like walks down one of the alleys.
Excellent.
We follow her.
All right, she stops halfway down and she's like, "All right, welcome to my office."
Excellent. I like your office. Much less stuffy than a lot of offices I've seen.
So the first question on my mind is, why'd you send us down to the Magic Dome?
Like, to the edge of the dome.
Right.
Because you need to
Not
convince-
down into a dome.
I know.
We're already in a dome.
Because shit's weird, and I thought you might want to know.
How did you know?
Well, you run into it once, and kind of sticks with you, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine so, but nobody else seems to know about it.
Yeah, still haven't figured out why.
Like, no one else has noticed at all? Like, you've never known anyone else who knew?
Not really. Most people just kind of look at me like I'm out of my mind when I talk about it.
Have you brought anyone over and, like, shoved them into it?
I did try once or twice.
How did
And what'd they do?
Well, they went crazy.
Oh.
I'm depressed that I know this.
Crazy how?
I mean, just insane.
Oh.
I
Just
mean,
like...
I get it. It's a weird thing to find out, and I think it kind of messes with you a bit.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then why didn't we go insane?
You guys are probably strong enough. I don't know.
I think she was probably betting just by law averages that one of us wouldn't go crazy.
She's like 4 people. She's like, one of them might make it.
Okay, so
Gonna shut down.
do you? This is gonna sound like a non sequitur, but do you know anything about the pages?
Funny, you should mention it, actually. I've been wanting to talk to you about, and before she finishes talking, you hear a gunshot.
No!
and a bullet hole, like basically a bullet slams into the wall, like next to you guys.
I
her
grab
too?
the rumor mill and I throw her to the ground.
What a rude thing to do.
I don't think so. And as I do that, I also pull my revolver out.
So it's a bit like quiet, sort of in the area you're in, considering you've kind of like moved further away from the like market, and you're more in the like residential type area, more of like rundown. But you hear a voice call out, and the voice will say, "This is your warning. Do not get in our way again."
Whose way?
Our. Who's our?
Do not get in the way. The last two bodies were your last warning.
Whose way?
Right?
Roll me awareness.
Alertness.
Alrighty.
Alertness. God damn it. I don't even know what awareness is from that I keep thinking it's that.
That's so
I rolled a 3.
Rolled a 0.
Yeah, I rolled a 0.
My one's not sounding as bad.
Just, oh damn it, 1. 0. Brodius and Wombat both see a figure sort of like jumping away on the rooftops in a dark cloak.
I pursue!
They are on the rooftops and you are not. Also, you see them as they get out of view.
I climb!
Okay, you get to the top. You don't know where they are anymore because they're not there. Like, this was from... To put in perspective, this was very far away. Like, hundreds of feet away that they took aim from, if that's the same person.
Okay, I'm going to kneel down.
That, you will notice the cloak is not the same look as the one that you saw earlier today. This is like a dark, like a very dark green, almost like leathery in appearance. Excuse me.
So not the same as the person who murdered, that we were chasing from the
Exactly.
city hall. Okay, I'm going to kneel down and check with the rumor mill and make sure she's all right.
She's just like face down on the ground with her arms at her sides, just like, so can I like get up now, or do you just need me here for some reason?
No, I think you're safe now. I think you're good.
Cool. And she like stands up and like just starts like dusting her whole body down.
Mm.
Like,
I'm sorry about
sun
that.
warning.
I climb back down. You okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. How about you guys?
Any idea who that was?
I
We're
do,
fine.
actually.
Who is it?
Well, judging by all of that, voice and also just, well, what, do you know what bodies he was talking about?
Oh, well, Barney Chuck? We went to go see him and he was dead.
So Mr. Call.
We also went to go see... I don't remember his
Mr.
name.
Call.
Yeah. And he was already dead too. You sure you want to talk with us?
Oh yeah, no, I've been in worse situations.
Okay. Just figured I'd, you know.
It's a
I mean,
worse
also,
situation.
John Smith has been dead, so...
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fine. That happens.
More like
Happened a
John Smith
lot?
is still dead.
Actually, they said 2 bodies, so are they not the same people who murdered John Smith?
Well, I mean,
Well,
that happened a couple days ago, right?
Right, but if those 2 bodies were a warning, was John Smith not also a warning?
I guess not.
We saw John Smith had a dag next to him with the symbol of, it's been 3 weeks, the Heavenly Chariot.
If that's the case, then it is quite likely it's who I think. My guess is it's the Gatekeeper.
That's a name I haven't heard.
Oh, goody.
Name.
Well, you heard the pages, right?
Yeah.
Gatekeeper's their boss.
The
So,
I
like,
don't
why
have
do
a
the
pun.
pages hate us?
Why is he called the Gatekeeper?
Could not tell you.
We haven't done anything yet, really. Why do the pages already hate us?
Well, how'd you know about Barney and Call, huh?
Was that Halifax?
No, how'd you know they were dead?
Oh, well, we saw them.
Blood and the not moving and the ow ow, you know,
And the
bleeding out
checking
of
the
their necks.
pulse and the stuff.
Well, then I'll put it like this. If I, for some reason, chose to kill 2 people, and then the same group of people stumbled across both bodies, I might also think that they were trying to stop whatever plans I had.
Fair enough.
So
I don't know anything about them.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that you were trying to stop them, but, you know, from that perspective, maybe you were.
A certain point of view.
Okay. So we got magic domes. We got gatekeepers of page. He should be called a bookkeeper. He should be called a bookkeeper.
No, just no.
Should be called a knight if he's the boss of pages.
I feel like that's the wrong page.
Actually, no, he'd be a squire. Then his boss would be the knight.
You're creating a weird hierarchical structure.
Every time.
Well, yeah, it's
You're
it's
putting
three
Yeah.
Magic
steps.
dome, gatekeeper, pages, 2 dead bodies.
You're putting a lot of thought into the name of a guy who runs a cult.
Okay, so they're a
So
cult.
it's a cult.
I mean, you saw the
That's
clothes,
a.
right?
Okay, but they could have just had good fashion sense.
Cloaks are nice. That was a
Cloaks are
nice
nice.
cloak.
Yeah, it's green and leather. That's just a cool look for a cloak.
That's like, what, dragon leather? Jesus. What the...
It's like
What
the
leather
lowest-
is green?
It's
Think of the
lowest
size of the
level
snake.
dragon.
Think of the size of the snake you'd have to skin to make that.
Right.
So anyways, you were telling us about this cult. And this gatekeeper.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, that's who just shot at you, as far as I can tell. Also, guy's a
Gatekeeper.
good shot, so it makes a lot of sense that he'd be the one to pull off something like that with how far away he was.
Oh, that was the actual... Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
I mean, why would the boss come out to deal with us personally?
Well, either he was in the area or he really wants you away.
I feel like it's not the first one.
Could be both.
We are in that. Are we back by the bar now? We're
No,
out of
we
the-
Yeah.
barely
But, like-
turned the corner from Sawbone
You've
Market.
gone a little bit further than that. Like, you've
Okay.
gone, like,
How are we in the way, though? Because, I mean, your argument that the fact that we found both bodies does seem like we're trying to stop him, but at the same time, we didn't get in the way of killing those people. They successfully killed them. We haven't stopped anything they've done. We haven't...
All I'm saying
How
is
are we
he
even on
just
their radar
doesn't want to
before
take a
now?
chance. I don't know. I'm not his boss. I'm just here.
What information do you have on him?
Not a lot, honestly. Pages are a pretty secretive group,
No.
and him most of all. I don't even think he's around town much.
Because I'm a Scotsman.
How can he not be around town when there's a magic dome around town?
Let me. When you live
See
at
the
your
dome.
house, you're at your house, and when you leave your house, you're around the town. I don't
I
think
see.
he goes around town much.
Huh.
I
So
see.
you're saying he's in one place normally.
Generally, yes.
Do you know where that is?
I've got a hunch.
It's like 18.
There are doctors for that.
What?
I feel like you've got a lot of hunches. You're
Well,
really good at this hunch
To be
thing.
honest, usually I'm better than that, but unfortunately for them, hunters are the best I've got to go on.
Well, I'd like to hear your hunch.
Business is always straight ahead than left.
Well, so there's a there's this abandoned warehouse over to the west, south of the dock area. There's one that kind of like sits off by itself. It's been abandoned for quite some time, but there's been more activity there recently. And
Is
my
that the
sources
warehouse we
tell
woke
me
up in?
something's up with it.
How many abandoned warehouses are in this city?
Well, most of them aren't really that abandoned. This one hasn't been used in years.
I think abandoned
That-
warehouses are this city's main export.
Yeah, it's like Gotham.
I mean, I can check out an abandoned warehouse. I don't see any problem with that.
Say,
Nothing ever goes wrong in an abandoned warehouse.
No, abandoned warehouse sounds fun. Let's go.
Well,
I
here's
mean,
Yeah.
the
compared
thing.
to being shot at from a
Before
rooftop.
you go.
Yeah.
Here's my deal.
Does it have doors?
Nice.
I mean, if you guys don't want like the information that I found for you, then like that's fine.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry.
No,
go
I
ahead.
want to know.
I'll be quiet.
Because last I talked with you guys, I mentioned I was going to try to figure out what could have happened to those memories of yours.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys still care about not having those memories, but you know.
Do.
We
I mean, I've been getting by fine, but I'm still curious.
Yeah, I was hoping the wall might have jogged something, but I guess not. Well, I think I know someone who might be involved. However, I do run a business, and I gave you some free info the other night. So if you are able to figure out what the pages are up to right now, I will be glad to tell you.
That makes sense.
They, from what I hear, are planning something big. And if it's anything like what they've been doing before, I fear for some part of the city.
Took care of the first one.
But I don't know where. I need to know where. Please go find out where.
At this warehouse seems like the best place to find out where.
I mean, that's what it's called, a warehouse, I assume.
Yeah, I do regret all of this conversation, so I'm just gonna head out.
I think I can. I think I can get that information.
We can certainly try.
Is it? Oh, you know what? Here, I got something for you too. She hands you a sheet of paper that I will put in information, which is that big X is where you're gonna be needing to go. It's in the information channel because tabletop won't let me put it in the game, and I'm very salty about it.
There's so
Okay.
many modes here.
It says I'm
Big
like
X.
50% loading, and I don't know why.
50 fucking modes.
So is all of that green Elysium Park?
Yes.
I probably
That's a
made
big
So
park.
Elysium Park just kind of splits the city.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wait, so where are we right now?
You're in
Are
the
we in the
slums.
Slims? Okay. Oh, we have to cross water.
I imagine there's a bridge.
Yeah.
Maybe.
High,
Maybe.
High Street goes.
High Street is the bridge.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
We'll do that.
Okay, they were behind me, apparently.
Oh, and one last thing before I go. I would suggest that you keep all of this on the down low.
Oh, I don't even know who you are.
Excellent.
I couldn't put a
Neither do I.
name to a face.
Then that's all I needed to say. I will be talking to you soon, I'm sure.
I hope so. Stay safe.
You'll need that more than I do. And with that, she just gives you like a two-finger salute and just like walks around the corner.
I return the salute.
Is that
See ya.
Hi.
Let's go.
I like that, like, one of my goals for this campaign was to make it a little more, like, character-oriented. Like, I wanted there to be more people to interact with.
I like it.
And I appreciate how everyone's just like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I love these people. I'm just like, thank God.
The rumor mill's great.
She's
She
fun.
is.
I love playing as her, too.
So are Jay and Ren. They're great too.
Yeah,
They
they're
are.
the most chaotic, and I love it.
Let's
I
go
love
find
these
a warehouse.
characters.
Cool.
Yeah, let's go find the warehouse.
I'm gonna be right back.
Oh, okay.
If you're stepping out, I gotta go get some more water, so I will be right back.
Justin, how many more points do you need?
Quick, while they're gone, let's run to the warehouse.
Leave Tom and the DM behind.
Yeah.
And what Johnny?
What's Tom gonna do?
I think he's
I
an
heroically save
investigation
our
person.
lives. Yeah, you're right.
He's also our people reader. Got deceit and empathy.
He does.
You hit the losing streak.
Alright, I'm back, sorry.
Yay!
Which
Now we
I
just
do
need to
feel
wait
like
for
we're
Tom.
also doing a better job of making our characters more distinct from each other this time around.
I think so too.
And
I enjoy it. You guys are having fun with it. That's good.
All I'm saying is I love the NPCs, and if anything happens to them, I'll kill everyone in the room and then myself.
Not again.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we ready to go to the warehouse?
Yes, let's go.
Cool.
Emily's already started walking.
How are you getting there?
With my feet.
Yeah, we're gonna walk down High Street.
this is why the
Okay, so you're gonna go from the south.
you can score and can't spawn there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you just like approaching on the road?
This shit.
Yeah, I mean there's only one road over the river, so
True.
which is bad city
like-
design, I have to say.
I don't like where this is going. I don't like when the DM is like, so, where specifically are you walking?
Which hand are you touching the statue with?
Specifically, which
Which-
traps are you going into?
Yes, exactly. That's the feeling I'm getting.
No,
It
we're
is
gonna
kind
walk
of
over the High
far.
Street Bridge.
Okay.
Should we get a car, do you think?
I mean, if you want to steal one.
Not particularly.
Let me check. I'll see if I have a car somewhere. Oh, nope. Not in my inventory.
I'm just very wary of this whole DM asking which traps we're walking into voice.
I mean, this seems like a very pedestrian-friendly city, so
Okay, let's just go.
yeah.
Okay. So as you approach, it's actually you'll be the like road that splits the road that connects to that warehouse. The one with like circle in it is Beacon Street, or I'm sorry,
Street.
First Street.
Street.
Yeah, First Street, which is where John Smith's house was. But this like quickly becomes, or like stops being residential and starts becoming more
And then cowarding.
almost like service road. Like it is a road that would not be used by anyone except for people going to and from these warehouses.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's not many people around.
Okay.
And as you approach the warehouse, you'll see there's like a what would be gate in front of it, but the like gate part itself has clearly just been like gotten rid of years ago. But there are like two people sort of like leaning against the pillars,
Back up. Boss damage.
like directly in front of the warehouse.
We recognize them.
You do not.
Y'all
I
want
have
to
an
play a
idea.
game of marbles?
We can either all try to sneak past guards and sneak in and sneak around and see what we find, or I can go up and be like, "Hi, I think I offended someone and I want to make things right," and they'll like capture me and stuff. But you guys can then like sneak in and sneak around and find what you can.
Or we could just beat them up.
But we don't know how many are inside. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying, just if I go in unarmed, just like surrendering, just trying to find out why I got shot at earlier.
News is subtlety is my middle name. Don't know what my last name is. I just know my first name's Pierce.
You know what? Sure, Emily.
Would anyone, before they do this, just like to roll me investigation just to sort of see the surroundings? Just so you know
yeah,
sort of
of
where
course.
you're at.
Can I roll alertness instead?
I have a -2. What don't I see?
I have a 5.
It's just...
Listen, my alertness doesn't matter.
I have a 5.
Alright, Tom. The warehouse clearly seems, not bigger than some of the others, but, like, there are second-story windows, essentially, and ones that don't look like they're just for, like, letting in light. As well as that, the house sits sort of like, or the warehouse sits like in a clearing surrounded by trees. But the trees are like, 10 feet away from it at most. It's sort of like just barely nestled into this area. These trees connecting sort of to like the rest of Elysium Park.
So we've got trees, and we've got windows up top. So if someone could theoretically parkour up and hop through one of those windows, if they could make a jump from those trees, it's just a 10-foot horizontal jump.
That sounds like a job for me too.
Or we bend one of those trees over and use it like a catapult to send you over.
Are trees
No one will
that
notice
flexible?
that.
Are these
In the
pine
movies?
trees? Are these pine trees or are these hardwood trees?
I can't believe everything I think about goes unnoticed. We'll say whichever one works less for your plan.
Hardwoods. Hardwoods then.
Honestly, probably hardwoods. This is a nice part.
Dominic, you said that I wouldn't, I didn't roll high enough to notice, so I honestly stopped paying attention, and I'm sorry. I got distracted by my puppy.
It's okay.
He's being adorable.
Are there people around the clearing?
Just the two that you see out front by the gate.
So even on the other sides of this building, there's nobody else?
Not that you can see, no. Not that Tom sees.
Right. Is Tom relaying this information to us?
Yes, I am relaying this information. Didn't even need to use a fate point because this is something where I could investigate rather than try to talk to the people up front. This is literally something that is like a character trait for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's windows up high.
Yeah.
There are hardwood trees all around. There's a big clearing, and there's two dudes in front of the door.
Yeah.
What was there anything else?
That's as far as I know, unless I'm missing something.
Okay. So maybe we can try to sneak in through an upper story window on one of the other sides.
What
That's what
it
I'm
sounds
thinking.
like.
So maybe
Is there
maybe
another
one
way
of
to
us-
approach though? Like, this is the gate opening. Is there another place where we could go through?
Question.
Is that a question for me?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
the trees connect to Elysium Park. So, theoretically, all directions could get you to it.
Cool. I'm gonna climb a tree.
Oh, cool. Well, no, never, okay. That also.
okay. I was gonna. All right.
Gonna what?
I was gonna suggest that one of us distract the two guys while you climbed up to the second story window on a side they're not on.
I mean, I'm just gonna hop from tree to tree until I'm like somewhere next to the building.
Again, the trees are like 10 feet away from the building.
Yeah, you're never gonna jump that.
10-foot horizontal jump to a window.
From a tree.
Okay, fine. What's the plan?
Okay, so who wants to distract the dudes?
I mean, I was down for distracting them, but I don't think anyone can climb as well as I can.
No, you're a climber. You have to get up in there.
I can be the distraction.
But
All
don't we
right.
need you to be able to investigate once we're inside?
Would I investigate as their prisoner?
Okay. And then...
And then Rose,
Anna.
Anna and I can hang outside and wait for y'all's signal to come in or to run.
Righty.
So what's your plan?
I don't know. I'm very confused.
Okay, the plan is Pierce goes up to the two bodyguards or two security dudes
Monsters.
and distracts them while Emily climbs up the side of the warehouse and sneaks into a second-story window.
This gives me.
Meanwhile, we wait for a signal from one of them, which we haven't decided on yet, actually, which is my fault. But we wait for a signal from one of them to either come inside or run away. Yeah, guns a-blazing.
Curious or the botnets. So
Like an owl, and that's how we know to come in.
Yeah, and bark like a dog to tell us to run.
And then you guys get in there and they hold a gun to Pierce's head and they're like, "We'll shoot him." And you're like, "Well, we didn't plan for
Well,
that." So-
but now we're in a standoff, so now we can talk.
At that point, I just say, "Okay, do it, coward."
I just want one time where someone's like, "Do it, coward," and then they just shoot him. Like, instantly, no hesitation.
Listen, this just seems like there's no better plan. I feel like I can't think of one right now.
I just wonder if.
What?
I mean, are you guys gonna be watching closely? So, like, if I find a rope or something to throw down, you can.
Yeah, Anna and I will be keeping an eye out.
Okay. I guess. So, what is it? Who, like, an owl for coming quietly? Bark
Yeah.
like a dog for stay safe?
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Pierce,
Give
you
me a
have
minute
to.
to, like, sneak through the tree line, I guess? To, like, get to a side where there aren't guards?
Yeah.
Y'all need to be on the opposite side from these guards, so they don't see you if they try to like scan around to see if I'm alone.
Okay. Yeah. So Anna and I can sneak around to the back side of the warehouse.
And I'll sneak there too, because that's probably where I'm gonna make my entry point. So I guess give us about 2 minutes and then go up to them.
Alrighty.
Alright.
That's the plan.
When I
I start
asked what
off-
the plan was, you could have just said overly complex. You didn't have to detail it out for me.
We had to detail it out for each other.
Ourselves, yeah. Like, we don't know.
I was gonna say, you think that conversation was for your benefit?
We forgot you were here, Dom.
I mean, that is true.
Question about my cane: is it collapsible?
No.
Okay. In that case, I am go. Oh, okay. Before y'all go, I'm going to stash my weapon with my gun with y'all and my ammunition. Let me
Okay.
take that off my hands so that way
Yeah.
they don't get mad because I've got a gun on me.
Is your gun a pistol?
Still a small amount of ammo.
What about your cane? Are you taking that with you?
I'm keeping the cane with me.
That's good. That's
All right. So yeah, I have an equipment item here for Pierce's pistol and ammo.
nice.
As opposed to a piercing pistol and ammo.
Yeah.
That's way more useful than anything in my inventory. I have a doll pocket knife, several cans of not dog food, and the phone number of the clothing store owner in the Slims.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That clothing store owner is going to come in big in Act 3.
It might. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm holding
his
on to
name
that
is
number.
Chekhov, as far as I know.
Excellent.
You know, everyone's favorite literary device, Chekhov's phone number.
Listen, if you actually did bring him back in Act 3 and he was like the main villain, I would be impressed.
I mean, that's
He is the
like,
gatekeeper.
That is
He is the
absolutely
gatekeeper.
wildest thing I've ever heard. I'm taking these notes for a different reason, though. Hold on. Hold on.
Anyways,
Is his name now canonically Chekhov?
Only if he shows back up. It's Schrodinger's Chekhov, where like it is only if he comes into play in Act 3.
oh gosh.
This is getting needlessly complex, just
Wow.
like our plan.
Wow, way to bring it back to the worst plan. I mean, goodest plan.
This plan will work.
No, it's cool. I don't remember what it was because I stopped paying attention. So.
Back when it came out.
Okay, so let's go.
Okay, so yeah, I wait 2 minutes.
And we sneak around to the other side. Do we see guards on the other side?
You do not.
Do we see windows on the other side?
I mean, yes.
Are they still about the same distance from the trees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you still have to scale the building.
You think it's been about 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I cross over to the building
Okay.
and I look up at the window. Does it look like there's light on or anything?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna climb up to the window. Do I need to roll for that?
Yes.
Do you do wall hacks?
That's a 4.
All right, you were able to climb it pretty well.
Okay. Is the window locked?
Yes.
Figures. Is the window still locked?
What do you mean? Yes.
Got the
I
dull
tried
pocket
to
knife,
open
right?
it. Oh, yeah, I guess I pull out my pocket knife. Can I, like, jiggle it in there to, like, push the thing open?
I just love the idea of like you trying to hold on while doing this.
Yep. Do I need to make another athletics roll for that?
Well, you'll need to make a burglary check.
Oh, bummer. I don't have burglary. Whatever.
Maybe you'll get lucky.
Nope.
Give me 1 second, actually, before you do that.
Okay.
Sure isn't.
I'm just picturing myself hanging on, like, while this is happening.
There you go. That's
Oh, no.
Thanks.
Which button rotates things again?
Really didn't.
Q and D.
Ah, thanks. Ha!
I do like that about the. I know, isn't it wonderful?
Okay. So I have burglary now.
Oh man, that like.
Oh.
Obviously, you didn't have to take that one, but I figured it might be a good time for or opportunity for that decision.
Let me go ahead and,
Actually, that works because no one has burglary.
Really? I thought Wombat did.
Gun,
No.
sleight of hand, alertness to see.
Yeah, I have sleight of hand.
Honestly, you have the makings of an assassin, except for the like stealth and burglary.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder when I'll get my memory.
Let's go see. You're a couple of memories away from becoming Agent 47. You've got the deceit down, so you could just be like, yes, I am the chef.
I like saying he's a couple memories away from being a character that doesn't have his memories.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I can go ahead and roll burglary now, right?
Yes. No, go ahead.
It was
How?
even worse.
No, not really.
So it's a -3 again.
We'll go break the next one. Can wait here.
I mean, you are attempting to go in and look for secrets, so you could claim that you are currently a finder of others' treasures. If you would like to use a fate point to reroll. Or add 2, but I would say rerolling might be better.
I was gonna say it would. Yeah, it would just make it a -1, and this is the worst roll that you can get. So, I think I'll go ahead and do that. Why?
That-
Dominic, why?
That is incredible. I have never seen... Do you need new dice?
Uh-huh.
Our dice are cursed.
Wow.
So that's a -2.
Okay.
So I still can't get in, can I?
Wombat, you were like following along with her?
No, Anna and I were waiting outside.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think I can scale the
yeah.
building.
Wait,
So I'm like
yeah.
hanging on the side of the wall with my pocket knife, trying to like get the thing open.
Yeah, you do drop the pocket knife.
Okay.
Can I run up and grab it and throw it back up to her?
Yeah, throw a knife at the lady hanging from the wall.
It's a pocket knife. It can collapse.
Oh, no,
Okay,
that's
you didn't
fair.
say close
I
it
was about
first.
to be like, what fucking skill does she have to roll to catch a knife out of the air? Because obviously it's going to be guns to throw it, which I hate as a sentence.
Okay, so I'm gonna run up, I'm gonna collapse the knife, and I'm gonna throw it back up to her.
Okay.
With my guns skill.
Roll guns. Emily, I guess roll me...
That's a 2.
Athletics.
Okay,
Yeah, roll me athletics to hold on and still catch it.
that's a 5.
Oh, good that you can do that fine. Well,
Yeah, I rolled a
I got a 2.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I rolled a 1, and I have a 4 in athletics, so yes, please, athletics checks.
Yes, so you were able to get it, throw it, and Emily is able to catch it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try again.
I'm gonna shoot you a thumbs up. You got this.
Okay, so you're going for the moral support buff.
Does that give me anything?
No.
Oh, okay. That's a 1.
That'll be good. No one really expects this window to be, like, burglared, considering it is on the 2nd floor, so it's a pretty simple lock.
Okay. I close the knife and put it back away and open the window as quietly as I can.
How about we say you crawl through the window quietly and then put the knife away while you're not trying to hold on to the side of a building?
I like that idea.
So while all that's happening, Tom.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am going to hobble slowly
Walking
on
in
my
and saying,
cane.
I'm a master. Guilty.
I'm going to hobble slowly on my cane towards them. I'm going to pull out, like, if I got a handkerchief or anything like that, I'm going to be waving it, and I'm going to be like, I need y'all's help. No, I'm just going to be waving it at the guys coming in. I'm going to be rolling deceit.
It seems the closest you have is a union phone number.
Yeah, I'm going to be waving that piece of paper, then.
Yeah, I mean, like, that from far enough away, or, like, quick enough, could definitely seem like that.
So, that is a 1 on deceit.
And so what are you trying to, like, what are you saying?
Just saying, I'm saying, listen. Are all with the pages, or whatever they're called?
They both, like, turn to look at you and, like, stand up, like, very straight and tall and aggressively when they hear that. They're like, who's asking?
Me. Like... Oh, okay, so I was with some folks, and, like, we were trying to figure out what was going on, like, something happened with our heads, and, like, I don't even know what's going on, I don't even know those people, and y'all were, they did something that, like, put them on y'all's hit list, and I'm honestly I'm scared. I don't know what's going on, and y'all seem to know what's going on, so I'm jumping ship with them. I'm coming in with y'all. You could keep me as a prisoner if you don't trust me. You don't have to do anything. I just don't know what's going on.
They say, and they immediately, like, walk towards you and grab your arms to, like, pull you inside.
So I hop on inside.
This isn't what I intended.
I am hobbling. I am deliberately trying to look. Okay, my face is messed up, and I am hobbling on a cane, deliberately trying to, like, emphasize a limp. So I am trying to be unthreatening.
I forgot your face was scarred.
Yeah. I look like Harvey Dent right now.
Well, bright side, we actually finished Act 2, so that scarred face
Act
can now be a
1.
minor consequence. So I guess instead of scarred face, it's I don't know, what's a lesser version of that?
Reddish scabbed face.
They
That
scabbed
sounds
face.
significantly worse, even though it's like not. Because scars are what happens afterwards. The scab is when it's
Yeah.
fresh. Oh, giant weeping scab. Yeah, that sounds minor.
If anyone asks, it's definitely the scab that's weeping. I'm not crying. No one saw me cry.
He's totally crying.
I had a piercing pulled out of my face.
It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there, just like more horrifying now.
So, as they pull you inside, I will tell you what the inside of this warehouse looks like to you. So, it is, although quite big, it is like almost difficult to walk around in. There's like tons of crates, essentially like everywhere. Generally, most of them are covered in like tarps or like whatever, just to like hold stuff down until people got back. But it looks like this was from when it was abandoned, and no one has really been back for it. They're old. Pretty much, like most things in here look very old, except for one wall, which is lined with what looks to be like small cages. Well, fairly large as far as like cages go, but not, you know, I'd say like at most 3 to 4 feet tall. Yeah, probably about like 4 foot cube, essentially.
What's inside of them?
Bloody rags.
There's nothing living in there, just bloody rags.
Yes. Well, I mean, it looks like something may have lived in there, and something that may have eaten something that bled onto the rags that lined the cage.
This sure sounds like a great place to be a prisoner.
Additionally, there is a couple like large crates in the center of the room, surrounded by 4 people, who are all doing something with the crates. From what like roll me investigation, I guess, as they like walk you past it.
That is a 6.
Dang. You see a quick glance that they're holding. They're like working with a like very light pink, almost like putty.
Putty?
Yes.
Huh. Can I see what it's doing, or?
It doesn't really seem to be like doing anything by itself. It's just like they're like rolling it up and like basically like moving it into another box as like sort of like small tubes.
Okay. File that away in my head. As I'm doing this, I'm just going to look at the guys and just say, as earnestly as possible, thank you for doing this. I'm terrified of what's going on out there. Can I roll deception on that?
Yeah, if you want to.
Come off.
Is
like
it just
the
me or did
biggest
audio
idiot.
come out?
About audio?
It cut off for a sec.
I just want to be come off like the biggest gullible rube possible. And that is a 2. The seat. Or would it be empathy? Because I am genuinely scared and I don't know what's going on out there.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put this out because I found out that I did actually put this in earlier, but I never put the X in at the time because I didn't know that was gonna be important yet. But until I figure out how to fix it, here's the map for everyone else to see. Anyways, let me roll for them. Okay, yeah, they're just like, yeah, you should be scared.
That's the most reasonable thing I have heard I can remember. I'm keeping an eye out, and I want to see if there's any risk of them seeing any of my compatriots. I am going to try to distract them or something.
Okay.
Okay. I'm curious. I'm very curious about the putty.
You could roll me a science check.
I was gonna
I
say
do not have
IRL. I think
science-
I know what that is, but my character would have no idea.
I mean, yeah, out of game I have some guesses, but that's a 0 science.
Yeah, you're not sure.
That putty go boom.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Where are they taking me? Are they going to put me in a cage or put me in a room or a chair?
They throw you into a chair, sort of near the middle of the room, and tie you up. One of the guards like turns to the other one. Is just like, hey, we're gonna keep him here. Call the boss. I'll know what to do with him.
Thank you very much. If possible, is it okay if my cane is nearby, because I have trouble walking? And honestly, if you want to take me anywhere else, it's going to make things much easier if I can walk with it.
One of them picks up the cane. It's like, oh, this one here. You said this one's important to you.
Yes.
Oh, cool. And he just throws it over his shoulder into the corner.
Yep.
I thought he was gonna snap it in half.
I didn't want to be that mean.
I was gonna say.
Point for it. But I did think about it.
You're a monster.
Also, Tom is tied up to a chair in the middle of a room. It sounds like a murder party.
Yeah. Tom, roll me awareness.
It's a 1.
You notice from your vantage point, only because of like where you're looking, that one of the windows on the top floor is slowly opening before you see someone come through. So at the very least, you know that the plan is in some ways moving.
So he can see that window from where he is?
Yes, because the second floor is pretty much entirely just catwalk.
So that means other people can see up there too.
Yep.
But only if they look.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep an eye out on any person I have in view and see if they start looking up. And if they do, I am going to be a distraction.
Yeah, so basically,
That works. Mid-air is fine.
The entrance has a like ladder leading up to the catwalk next to it. Catwalk itself goes around the perimeter of the upper floor, and there one side of it, like the far side, has like a large platform, sort of for like overlooking production, as well as like a small room as like an office kind of thing over there as well. And where Emily came through the window is going to be close, like right next to the platform.
And the platform is by the office?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Do I see someone come up to go get the boss?
no. They actually
Okay.
go outside.
Oh, crap.
What are they going outside for?
To call the boss.
Right now is unstunnable.
Oh.
Did I hear that happen? Like, did I hear that conversation?
Yes.
I lean back out and I'm like, hide! Hide!
They sure are.
Do we hear that?
Probably not unless she's very loud.
That's why you bark like a dog.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Okay.
Oh, no, there's two.
And then I duck really low and hope no one sees me.
Did we hear the dog bark?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Anna, do you want to run?
Might be for the best.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna fall back into Elysium Park. We're gonna stay like within eye shot of the warehouse, but
Behind the tree line.
yeah.
Okay. One of the pages will just sort of like look up for a second and be like, is there a dog outside?
Guess there is.
Don't say that.
No, Emily didn't say that.
Tom, would you like to respond to any of?
My immediate response is, listen, I just hope it's a dog at this point. There was something that looked kind of, I don't want to sound like an idiot or crazy. I don't want to say what it looked like, but it was worse than a dog.
You sound like a crazy.
He does.
I love how constantly suspicious you guys are when you're trying to act like normal people.
Especially Tom.
Like, all right, we have a stealth mission. Let's make sure that our signal is barking loudly.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but
in the same room as all of the people we don't want to surprise.
Listen, that was the shit hit the fan signal.
No, that was the run signal.
Yeah, that's the shit hit the fan. That's at least somebody survives.
So he sort of like nods at two of the guys that were inside, but like, take a walk outside and see if you see anything. And they walk out of the building.
No, we gotta be sure to wait for the boss when it spawns, remember?
Do we see them come out?
Yes.
Does it look like they're coming towards us?
No, it looks like they're doing like a walk for the perimeter to try to figure out what just happened.
I'm gonna die.
Okay.
I'm gonna die is what's gonna happen. Oh shit,
I am going to loop back around to where I can see the front.
Okay. There are no trees by the front though, so you will not be like hidden very well.
Oh shit.
It was all
Like there's nowhere I can see like the front door or drive or whatever to.
You can. It's just like kind of far away and like at a bit of an angle.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
What are you looking for?
I just want to keep an eye out for like when the boss comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do see one of like the someone like walking off as though they're like looking for someone, but it's not like right next to them.
Right.
So back inside, what is Emily doing now that she's almost alerted everyone? Are you gonna tell them you're
Hiding.
the master?
Yes, I'm gonna hop down and be like, I am the master. I am the one who erases. No, I'm gonna try and sneak over to like the platform area and just see if I can find anything that looks useful, any kind of like plans or supplies or anything.
So on the platform, you find basically like a giant corkboard up against the wall, or something like it.
Ooh.
And it is completely full of like various papers, ranging from like newspaper articles to pages from books, or ripped out of books dedicated to like scientific discoveries, to handwritten descriptions of like people, to like maps and like just stuff like that. Like it's a lot.
That sounds like a lot. How is it secured to the wall?
How is this what you think is the end?
Well, I
But,
know someone smart. Her name is Anna. I don't know that I can really bring her in here. This seems like a dangerous place.
It's
Do I think that I could quietly remove it from the wall and throw it out the window?
You think you could quietly remove it from the wall. You don't know if it'll fit through the window.
Okay.
What if I'm not there? I can't suggest anything.
Do I see any kind of rope or cord or anything that I might be able to use to help my less athletic friends get up?
You could give me a fate point to declare that there is.
I already wasted a fate point on not opening a window. I don't know that I want to spend a fate point on bringing my friends through the same window, just to probably have us all be discovered and have to fight, and the rope not end up being helpful. But rope's always good to have, so yeah. Can I find some rope?
Yeah, go for it.
Samwise Gamgee taught me I need rope.
Yeah, you're able to find, like, you know, a decent amount of rope, enough to, like, reach down to the bottom of the building.
Okay.
It is a old warehouse, so there's enough around that you think you'll be able to make it work.
I sneak back over to the window, like being as low into the ground and stuff as possible, so as not to be seen from below.
Roll me stuff.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Well, it's about time, considering how stealthy you've been trying to be.
0.
I don't like that hesitation.
It does not seem like anyone has noticed you.
Cool.
It's the most ominous way to say it.
Yep. He's a good DM.
I thought the most ominous way to say it would be everyone turns and looks at you with laser eyes.
No, it's the unknown idea of maybe somebody did. You're like, it does not seem like anybody has spotted you.
You don't notice any traps.
Everyone snaps their hands to their side and pulls their weapon and starts looking randomly around as though they're NPCs in a stealth game who
Right, what is this, Metal Gear?
4.5 seconds later, they walk back to their post as though nothing happened.
Have the two that went out to investigate returned?
Not yet.
Okay. Then I guess I'm gonna wait for them to come back, because I don't really want my friends caught halfway up a wall with, guards around. Do I see anything else that seems to say what they're about or what they're going for?
Not here. Not on the landing, at least. But there is still, like, a room.
Yeah. Is the room locked?
Yes.
Figures. So yeah, I guess I'll just go to the window and wait, because I'm not going to try and pick a lock under these circumstances. I have
You're
someone
so
who's
good
better
at
at
it.
that.
I'm actually gonna bet you a fate point that you will, because you don't like waiting. You like solving things now.
Damn you. Alright.
That's a whole lot better.
I like when we get compelled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like,
me too. You don't like to compel me, like, ever, in any of my characters, so
Yes.
it's hard to turn this one down.
I like how you say any of my characters as if, like, you've had 10 characters. This is your second character.
Also, it's not you specifically. He doesn't compel people.
I try to, but it's a lot to remember, especially when, like, okay, so, like, late game, 4 characters have 8 aspects. That's 32 things I have to remember at all times to try to, like, figure out what's happening.
Just pick like 2 or 3 from each person and be like, these are the ones I might compel them on.
Yeah, I need to do that, and that's why I'm like
These are the aspects I like.
with Act 1, I was like, I'm gonna be okay with not compelling them a lot, because there's gonna be some interesting shit going on, and that's what they're gonna need to pay attention to. And then I can drop it on them when they've forgotten about it.
I love the compelling. I can't wait for it to happen to me.
I like how you've just placed it there, like, near my stack of wands.
I mean, you said you were going to, yeah?
I'm going for
Alright,
it,
cool.
yes.
Just making sure. I was like, wait, I thought you said that.
Yes. Okay. I guess I'll try to pick the lock.
Alright. You can also just use might if you want.
Gone with my fate.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea right now, Dominic.
I'm just like, pull another fate point. I'm like, you like to prove your strength.
That's what I was afraid you were gonna do. And, wait, is that burglary?
Yes.
Sweet. That's a 0.
Well, because you accepted the compel, you do also get 1 free, use, there we go, or 1 free, like, activation of that aspect during the scene. So if you like, you can use that to, like, reroll or +2 or whatever.
Without using a fate point?
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be a 2 then. I don't trust my dice. Rolling
You
is...
are not quite able to get in, but, in, like, not succeeding, you're able to, like, get, like, basically you're able to, like, remove what you're trying to do quietly without alerting anyone.
Okay.
So it seems like you like almost had it, but like you just like barely like missed it.
Can I try again?
Of course.
Oh, okay, that's a 4.
That's significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to pop the door open quite quietly.
Nice.
Quite quiet.
Quite quietly. I look inside, hoping no one's asleep in here.
Well, sadly, not the person who I hoped would find this, but it's still good. So you find something that you did not expect to see, which is a giant metal board that sort of like is leaned up against one wall, surrounded by candles. Each candle is lit and burns with a green flame. The board itself is covered in strange markings that have been like scratched into it, bordered by scraps of paper ripped into various sizes. Each of them contains a drawing of something or someone unrecognizable. Each one seems to be a drawing of a face like shrouded in shadow. It's difficult to know if the faces all represent the same person or if any of them can even be recognized with how little is shown. Underneath the shrine is a book with completely blank pages except for the page that it is open to, which has the words, "The Gate Lord chose you," written in charcoal scrawled across it.
Creepy.
Having a normal one.
And that's what's in that room.
Yep.
I can't
Okay.
imagine who you wanted to find that.
I'm gonna.
Rose,
Have I heard
how
any
much
signs
do you remember
of?
of your character last campaign?
Who?
Oh,
Oh, is Rose gone?
is Rose here?
Rose.
Sorry, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Did you hear?
Yeah, I
all
heard that.
that? Okay, good.
Did you freak out?
Just a little.
Okay. Okay. Have I heard any signs of the guards coming back in yet?
Not yet.
That is a 0.005% chance to get it. With a weekly lockout.
Tom, while all this is happening, the guy who like brought you in has essentially told everyone to like, it's just like, you guys keep doing what you're doing, keep an eye on that one. I'm gonna go keep an eye on the front gate again. And there's kind of like give him a thumbs up and continue working, and he walks out.
Guys, not to be that guy, but I kind of have to ask, what was in those cages? That's a real question, so I can roll empathy for that if you want.
Oh, I know. I'm just like, it's just really funny to just like the way you delivered it was great. It's just, what was that?
There's all these bloody rags over there. What was in there?
It smells like metal. It smells like metal over there. Any idea what that could be?
Oh, that's the cage.
I mean, I was saying it smells like blood.
I know.
And copper.
I mean, it definitely does smell like copper in the building, considering the candles. No.
Yeah, copper burning. Yeah,
For whatever reason, the grenade
I remember that from science class.
Yeah.
So did they answer him, Dom?
They both like turn to look directly at him, and with like almost malice in their eyes, like they're just like taking joy in this, and they're just like, oh, you may find out soon.
How many of them are there? So there's 2 down there right now working,
Yes.
and then one of them went back out to check the gate,
And then
And 2 of them.
have sort of like walked around.
and 2 of them are walking around.
Yeah.
So we've
And
counted
one went
5
to go
so
get the
far, plus the one who went to get the boss. So that's 6 plus boss.
Yes.
Is this a memory or is
Yes.
it okay? truth memory or
Yes,
other
a
memory?
true memory.
Or an
Okay.
Ooh.
Alrighty. I'm gonna try rolling rapport with them then.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm not the only one with report.
It's funny because like I made these before like any skills were picked, and now I'm like, I guess rapport is the only option you had on that one, huh?
It's the only skill I don't have.
But like, how could I have known?
3.
Second one, we could have done way faster.
So you were currently trying to make a first impression with him, basically. It's like, hey, so I'm just kind of a chill guy. It's like, look, man, we're sorry you got caught up in all this, but like,
I'm gonna stop now.
it's really on you on this.
How'd y'all get caught up in this?
They look at you for a second and like, roll me investigation or alertness, I guess. Yeah.
Alertness.
Or I'm sorry, empathy. Actually, empathy would be perfect.
That is a 4 on empathy.
So they look at you and like, for a second, their eyes like go a little hazy, like they're like blinking essentially. They're just like, well, you know, we've just always been doing it, all right?
Thanks.
I was just hoping I could get some advice on how to avoid this sort of thing in the future, you know? That's
Well,
not the ideal
My guess
weekend.
is don't go towards weird warehouses and turn yourself in.
Hey, I am happy to be in here. It's safer in here probably than out there because there's a distinct like 100% decrease in werewolves I've seen in here.
Says, well, yeah, it's daytime.
You to die in there.
Is
Just
it?
matter of factly.
It's daytime.
Is it daytime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot.
I
Look, the
kind
thing in the
of
middle of the table says day.
You're right. I
it
didn't
says day,
pay
yeah.
attention.
Well, I'm going to relax a little bit and just be like, "Oh my god, like you are the first person I've talked to who didn't think I was crazy for mentioning the werewolf thing." Have y'all
Roll
dealt with these
deceit on
things?
that one.
What?
So what was it you said?
I was just saying, like, y'all had to deal with these things. Have y'all seen it too?
He kind of like glances at the cages for a second. He's like, yeah, a couple.
Oh, okay.
Code, baby.
Don't
Don't worry, you'll see a couple soon.
want to see a couple. Want to be like not in danger of getting eaten.
Oh, trust me, you won't be in danger of that anymore.
Does that mean what I think it's gonna mean?
Depends. What do you think it's gonna mean?
Well, you just said I won't be in danger of being eaten by a werewolf, and you said I'm going to see one very soon. Am I going to get werewolfed?
Werewolf.
He just kind of like looks at you and smiles. He's like, well, that depends on a lot of things. We'll see what the boss says.
Like, I was going to say, is that the good option, or is there, like, multiple varieties? Because I've always been partial to the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I don't think there are any lagoons near us.
I mean, we got a dome, so maybe, is there a dome monster?
What dome?
They don't know about the dome.
What?
I just kind of say, I was making a joke about something stupid.
You're just like movie reference. You wouldn't see it. They're like, what's a movie?
I was making a joke about a book.
What's a book?
We have confirmed books exist in this world.
So,
Yeah.
so Emily, what
We
do
don't
you
know
do
that
now?
they read them.
Or does Anna or Forrest want to do anything?
Is the boss showing any sign of showing up yet?
I mean, not yet.
Does he see the guy go out to the front gate, though? The guard?
Oh yes, you will see that guy go out to the front gate.
Are the two guys still just walking the perimeter?
Yeah, they're sort of like looking like they might be done because they're just like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. Like they're just like they've walked around a couple of times, just like puzzled, and it's like, I guess it was
Gone now, whatever it was.
an alley dog.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak back around to the back, and I'm gonna hoot like an owl. Whoo! Whoo!
They're gonna come back outside and start searching again. And be like, damn it, Forrest!
Man, boss, there's all this wildlife out here. I don't know why it's there. Maybe it's because you put the warehouse next to a park.
Right.
One of the guys is like, all right, now that was a fucking owl. I swear to God. The other one's like, yeah, no, I heard it too. It's the fucking daytime. Let's go owl. Something's up.
Damn it, Forrest!
And they reach to their sides and pull up a pistol, and they begin walking sort of in the direction that they heard it from.
I'm gonna fall back into the tree line and pull out my pistol.
Ah!
So Emily, what are you up to?
My revolver, I mean.
So I assume since I was looking through the window to like see if it was safe to lower the rope, that I see them draw their pistols and head off towards my friends.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to that office and look at the book, see if there's that, like if everything else is blank except that page.
Everything else is blank. It looks like it's been like scrubbed blank. Like this was once a book with like something else, but it's been like undone essentially. Like everything's been worn off the pages.
Okay. And there's just these weird drawings
Yes.
of a figure of a person.
Yeah, and some like there's some like markings scratched into the like metal plate.
But are the markings also like of the person, or are they?
No, it's like it's like weird scratches at like various angles. It's hard to tell if it's like on purpose or if it's just like something's been hitting it a lot for some reason.
Gotcha. Well, this is creepy and all, and definitely confirms that they're a cult, but I don't really see anything useful about figuring out why they do what they do, or where they're going to do it, since that's what the rumor mill asked us for. So I guess I'll head back out to look at the corkboard again.
Do you want to roll me investigation about the corkboard?
Yes. That's a 0.
I mean, there's just like it's very overwhelming to look at. There's just a lot of stuff on it. You don't really like see anything to like pick out that's like unusual or like particularly interesting because like you're just like every time you look at one paper, like you're distracted by another one.
Yeah.
I look at it, see it.
No, you're certainly too far away.
Okay, other side of the room. Okay, good to know.
Other side of the room, or like you're in like the middle, but you're like you'd be looking at it like through the catwalk also. So it's like a lot of it's obscured and it's kind of far away. There's not great lighting.
I have my prescription glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. Your cane's gone.
Cane's gone.
Cane.
The reading cane. So I'm gonna be like, so guys, if I'm gonna get, you know, hot, honestly, I gotta ask, like, exactly is the thing that's happening here? Like, I don't know. I mean, y'all have the big cages. Y'all are making weird Play-Doh. What's the situation over here? What are you doing? You prepping for something? We need to get out of town quickly.
I'd do a chair.
Well, we'll answer.
Should I roll for that, rapport or empathy?
We'll actually get back to that in a second.
Okay.
That question will sort of hang in the air as two men approached the tree line where they heard a 3 p.m. owl.
Does it look like they're getting close to me?
Yeah, like it's not quite like not necessarily like exactly where you're at, but they're a little far away still. Roll me stealth to try to like fade into the forest for both of you.
1.
2.
Okay. One of them will point like stop for a second and like pull their gun up and point it at Anna and be like, "Hey, don't move." And the other one will like follow suit.
Did they see me?
It does not seem so.
Guess what?
So if I shoot at them, can I catch them unawares?
I mean, as far as you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot for the one closest to me.
All right, I guess we're in initiative now.
I mean, if I'm lucky, I'll just drop him instantly.
Yes, but there are 2 of them.
If I'm really lucky, I'll drop both of them instantly.
Just get the bullet to go through both.
That was a 2.
Both
Could have
not
used the
both
Pierce pistol.
But you know what? I'm the remorseless executioner, so I'm gonna add 2 to my roll.
So you're gonna do a +4.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying for. Can you break this guy's shield?
Well, you definitely got a bullet through one of them, and he drops to the ground pretty easily.
Not a big deal at all.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, the other one like felt the shock of it pretty well too.
Okay.
It's one of those weird things where it's like, how do I explain that? Like, I guess technically the bullet can go through one and hit the other one, but also it feels weird when it hits like 4 people sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, he does have the Pierce gun.
That super is.
I'm not using your gun though.
No, but I wanted to make that joke.
I see what you're saying.
Alright, so-
who do you want to go next?
I'll hand it off to the page that's left.
Alright.
Well, I'm about to get shot.
Well, roll
Yeah,
me
that's what
athletics.
I was thinking. Why didn't you give it to Anna?
Because then the page would get to go twice if she didn't drop the...
Oh, is it just the
page.
4 of them?
Yeah.
3 of them now.
Yeah.
That's a 0 on athletics.
Alright. Then you will take a 3 stress hit as they shoot you.
That's fine.
And the one from the gate begins to run towards your location.
Yep.
And the 2 inside begin to mobilize outside.
Oh, they head outside?
Yeah.
Keep stunning him.
I mean, this is working as a distraction at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I'm gonna hop down and cut Pierce's bonds.
So we'll say Anna goes next, and then everyone will be in on the next one.
I'd like to shoot the one that's still around.
Okay.
That'll be a 3.
Alright, you'll be able to take him out fairly easily.
Good luck!
These guys aren't real pages. They're chumps.
Alright, who do you want to go next? Top of the round.
I'll have Emily go.
Alright, Em.
Okay. How far up is the second story?
About like 10 to 15 feet. It is a warehouse, so stuff is supposed to be stacked pretty high underneath it.
Yeah, so does it seem conceivable that I could, to save time, just hop down, run over, and cut his bonds in my turn?
Yeah, I would say that there's like, you could make the jump knowing that there's like a chain or like, something for you to like sort of like guide yourself with so that you can like stop your fall a bit.
It is a catwalk. There would be all kinds of things just hanging down.
Yeah. Are you just
Okay.
like leaving the corkboard?
For the moment, I mean, My plan is to cut his bonds so that he can run out and join the fight, and then I'll go back and grab whatever I'm trying to grab and run off.
Okay.
But for this turn, I'm mostly just trying to get down there and free him. Because this isn't a good place to just be tied up.
Well, there's bullets whizzing through the air.
All right. So you jump down and honestly, you'll like. Oh, let's see. Yeah, you have a dull pocket knife, but probably enough to be able to like cut through the rope in a moment.
I have also a pocket knife too. You could take mine out of my pocket, and then you have double the pocket knives to cut.
Okay.
I got 2 golf balls.
So you want her to dual wield. Got it.
Yes.
All right. So who do you want next?
So Anna has gone and I have gone.
Anna has not gone yet because Anna was last round.
Wait, so who went first?
You.
Oh, okay, cool. Have I successfully freed Pierce?
Yes.
Okay. I'll let him go next then.
All right.
Alrighty.
Your bonds have freshly been cut, but
And-
you don't have your cane.
As I cut it, I put your knife back into your hand.
Alrighty. I'm gonna grab my cane back from where they threw it on the ground. Get that, and let's see. Anything in here that we could use as an asset?
Silly putty.
I was gonna say there's that putty.
Yeah, let's grab some of that.
You know,
Seems dangerous.
I'll see you next week.
I was gonna say, do you know what that putty is?
I will be playing tomorrow.
Should I
Me?
roll like a science check or something?
Yeah, if you want to roll science.
Roll science 2 again.
I don't know how to read that.
It's a 6, so there we go. So that's a -1.
I rolled a 2.
With the -1, do I know what that putty is?
You do not. Tom, did you roll science earlier for it?
Earlier, yes.
Okay, you would not be able to like reattempt.
Ah, I got a
It's
2
pink?
when I rerolled. Hold on, but I'd also like to invoke a fake point because why talk when I can examine?
I'll allow that for the like as a like version of like why fight instead while I can examine.
Well, I was going to examine it just as and have that be kind of like a delayed reroll from the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't invoke my fake point.
I'll allow that, especially because now that they're not here, you can also like get a better like look at it and actually like interact with it a bit. For your best guess, you would think it's probably low-grade nitroglycerin.
Okay, so they're making boom boom putty.
Putty go boom.
I want you to know, when I was looking up nitroglycerin earlier to make sure I understood anything about it, everything, like, I saw a picture of it, and the caption was, like, a, like, colorless liquid. And I was like, first off, it's not, that is clearly light pink in the picture. That is not what colorless means. And it's also not liquid. What is happening? And I could not get anywhere that actually described it in a way that made any sense for what I was seeing.
I was going to say, I look at that and I just say, well, that, how do I say that? They're going to do a whole lot of heart medication with all that stuff.
So you think it'll help our friends?
And I think if we wanted to use an explosive, yes, I would. Anyone here good at explosives? Anyone here like have experience with that sort of thing?
I don't think anyone has engineering.
I was gonna say, well, no one else can hear you, and I think
I would
you know
love
if
to
you
take
do, and I can
engineering at
tell
some
you that
point.
I haven't done anything with explosives in the last day.
I think. Is there evidence in here that we need to see? Stuff that we can figure out.
I think our friends are doing like a 5-2 fight out there.
I know, but I don't want to burn this place down with the nitroglycerin.
I have lit candles upstairs.
No, okay, Let's head on out there then.
You
Just
go.
don't
I'm
want-
gonna grab some stuff.
Okay, you grab the stuff you can. If you can grab something off of any evidence you can grab, but I'll go out there.
All right, so we'll start you'll start going up next turn with all the like looking, grabbing cane and all that for this turn.
I know you were very generous by giving me that.
I was gonna say we had a whole conversation.
Yeah. Only because I knew I could just use the excuse if it takes up like this turn or maybe the next. Like, all right, who's gonna go? Who do you want next? Forrest.
Okay. Do I see the other three yet? Because the two that were in front of us are down.
Yes, they have like the two from inside the building have like come out and are running towards where their comrades were, and the one on the gate is already like quickly approaching.
So both are
have
down?
their guns drawn.
Okay.
Run, like duck into the woods further.
Run, Forrest.
Make 'em spread.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cover myself behind a tree, and I'm gonna take a shot at the one closest to me.
At the very least, split up from Anna so that you're not just both there.
Okay, I'll move. I'll move to the edge of the warehouse. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll move to the edge of the warehouse where I can shoot from behind the wall.
Well, you'd have to like run through the open where they've because I'm assuming you were previously like a little in the forest, right?
Yeah, a tiny bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have to be you'd have to like spend a turn like moving to the warehouse.
That's bad. That's a bad idea. Okay. I guess I'll. How close am I to Anna?
Not super close, I think, because you were sort of like on your way back to where Anna was previously. Like you're close, I think, but like 10, 15 feet kind of thing, rather than like right next to.
That's fine. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna cover behind the tree and take a shot. And that is a 3.
They will jump or like they will like kind of sidestep it, but you weren't able to get like a great shot with also hiding at the same time.
Right.
Cover fire.
Okay. Well, I hand it off to the pages.
All right. Well. Perfect. The one from the gate, who's sort of like out in front, basically charges into the forest at you and swings at you. Roll me whatever you want to defend against fist. So endurance or weapon.
Doesn't really matter. It's going to be the same. We'll say weapon though. That's a -2.
Oh. Okay, so that's a 6 shift hit.
I'll take a minor consequence.
Okay.
What's he hitting me with?
His fist.
All right. I'll take a black eye. Take my 4 shift box.
Hey, that's for you.
Oh, finally.
All right, Anna, what are you up to? Oh, she said her internet's being a little weird. Oh, wow, she can't hear anything now. Oh, no.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay. So, what did I miss? I heard nothing from the page's turn.
Okay, so the page basically rushed Forrest and like decked him in the face real hard and gave him a black eye.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to keep some cover, but provide covering fire, hopefully to help Forrest get the fuck out of Dodge. Going more for the advantage than the damage.
Okay, so you want to roll to basically make it harder for anyone else to attack back?
Yeah. And then I'll end up with a 4.
Alright, you get 2 free invokes out of that because you rolled real well. Alright, start of a new turn. Who do you want to go?
I'll have Forrest go. Get the fuck out of there.
Shit. Still trying to decide what skill to take, and I feel like I made my decision, and I'm gonna regret it.
I think that's a good one.
Okay. So, is it still just the one dude that's actually like right on top of us?
Yeah, there's the other 2 are sort of like out or like between the forest or the tree line and the warehouse, and they're a little bit like they're having a little trouble getting to you now because Anna has laid down some very good cover fire that's making things very complicated.
Okay. So, what does tuning do?
Tuning is when you essentially you are affecting someone else with your aspect. So you're sort of like compelling an NPC to do something related to something. For example, if one of the examples they give is that if there was an aspect you had called the first hit is free, you could try to knock a guard into like a drug-induced stupor. So you're basically invoking something from your past in order to like affect someone else with it.
So can I like tune the dude who's attacking me to become an unstoppable beast and attack his friend?
Probably not, because you and Anna are both closer than the other 2. So if he went into any like bestial rage kind of thing, it would be a little
Directed
odd, I guess,
enough.
for him to like run back.
Yeah, okay. And what's the consequence for pushing?
Pushing, you receive a 1 point of mental stress plus an additional point for each shift that you roll in like your roll, but you get a +2 for it. Or I'm sorry, you don't even get a +2. You make a roll, but then like narrate your character doing something crazy, essentially, like depending on like how good your roll is.
Okay. Oh man, I'm really trying to think of something to get us out of this situation.
So like I would say like if you wanted to use pushing right now as unstoppable beast, you could like narrate yourself like just
dual wielding pistols.
I was thinking something to the effect of like running through the forest and just like knocking trees out of the way, or like running towards this guy and just shoving him back towards the tree, like towards the factory, like just like you just become the Juggernaut from Marvel for a second.
Okay, that's so you really mean like bestial?
Yeah, and very much like unstoppable. Like it wouldn't necessarily do damage, but you'd be able to like
rearrange the map.
Yes, thank you. or like rearrange like where people are.
So I could like throw him into the other two dudes?
Yeah, that would be something you could try.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna push myself to be an unstoppable beast. What am I rolling for?
This would be a might check.
That's a 0.
You could invoke an aspect at least to like make it a +2 if you want.
Can I invoke the cover fire?
Yeah, actually, we'll say that because like he is also like as set on edge. So you basically like jump forward, grab one of his arms as you like turn, and just like whip him around and throw him at the other two.
Yeah.
So Anna is sitting there trying not to get like just laying down some cover fire and like without turning just sees a body fly past her and land in the other two. In fact, that's actually wonderful. That is a something that will remind Anna of something.
As a bully champion?
And now everybody has a memory.
And this is when we find out that Dominic decided to make these memories really realistic, and this whole situation reminds Anna of something that's giving her PTSD, and now she's curled up in the wall, unable to interact with the world.
It's actually better. I'm just all of the memories I'm giving are just the things that are happening as they're happening. They're not actually memories. You just think they are.
Oh yeah, so I took a composure hit for that, right?
Yes. So you'll take a 2 mental or composure hit. I'm sorry, 3.
Okay.
And so like it did not hurt them necessarily, but you've thrown him back towards the like place and like knocked them out for a second. Who do you want next?
Did that create an additional advantage?
Not necessarily, not really, but you've like,
Okay.
He can't easily get to you again, and it is gonna like take them a second to get back up. So essentially, they won't be able to like react to anything until it hits their turn.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll make sure it matters. I'm not like not necessarily mechanically, but at the very least like narratively.
Yeah. All right, I'll shoot it off to Anna.
All right, Anna.
So I missed a little bit of that, but looks like we still have a few baddies on us.
Yeah, Forrest threw the guy attacking him into the other two, like 20 feet away. Just yeeted that man.
Cool, I want to take a shot. I should probably also write down which one of these I'm taking.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, oh, which one did she take? Nothing.
I'll fill the rest out in a second. But I would like to shoot at least one of them. Because I've still got my gun in my hand.
Yeah.
That'll be a 4.
Hopefully that hits more than one. They're all in a pile.
Yeah,
All piled up.
I'm just gonna change that real quick.
I was gonna say, do we not still have covering fire? Do we not
I
have
mean,
both?
sort of, but now they're just the cover fire doesn't matter as much when they can't move. I should just pull this out real quick so I remember it. Okay. Would you like to invoke anything with it? Because also don't forget with like minion types especially, rolling particularly high can never be bad because if you roll over what you need to kill a minion, it just hits the next guy also.
Sorry, what?
Would you like to invoke anything with that or just take the shot?
I'll just take a shot.
Okay, so you'll clip one of them.
Okay.
Who do you want next?
Let's go for Pierce.
All right, Pierce.
got my cane. I'm coming on out, and I see that it's nice. They've nicely been placed all in a pile for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna practice.
Excellent.
What?
So you get your cane, you walk outside, and everyone's on your lawn.
Yeah. I'm just gonna if they're lying in a pile, I am instead of like hitting them with the cane normally, I'm just gonna walk up and just kind of start stamping it down on them.
All right.
Like
Roll me weapon. I love that weapon is your top one, and you have a like rusted Swiss Army knife, and you just beat them with a cane.
I do it the gentlemanly way, and that's a 5.
All right. Well, you hit. You sort of like smack one of the guys from inside, turn and like smack the other one, and they both are like out. You have a very good shot at like both of their heads.
Okay, so rather than stomping it down on them, it's more like I teed up a golf shot and hit them both.
Yeah, sort of. Like you just kind of like smack, and you turn to the next one, smack.
So they're all out?
No, there's still the one from the front gate.
Oh, okay.
And so he doesn't get 2 turns, I'm going to throw it to the page from the front gate.
All right. Pierce, roll me athletics.
Alrighty, that's a skill I don't have.
Very few of us do.
It's a 1.
All right, you'll take a 1 physical stress hit as he stands and takes a shot at you, but is like not doing great.
Okay.
And Emily, what are you doing?
I'm gonna look around for like. So as they were making these things with the putty, were they putting them in any kind of bag or anything to transport them somewhere, or boxes?
They're setting them into the crate next to the putty crate.
Okay. Actually, a little bit less worried about that right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and climb back up and take the corkboard.
I just love that, like, you're just like, I guess I'm just grabbing this giant corkboard. You just, like, have it now.
Like, do I need to roll athletics or something to bring it down the ladder?
No, we'll say, like, you could, like, you should be able to, like, it's not heavy. It's a little unwieldy because it's a bunch of paper.
I know,
like,
it's
they
just
move around.
It's unwieldy and it's a ladder, so I wasn't sure if, like
Yeah.
in real life that'd be a little bit difficult. But
I can always just throw it down, too.
Well, I don't want to. That might mess it up.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, mostly because you're not climbing a wall. Like, you're using a ladder, which is meant to be climbable.
Okay. I'm also, like, putting the rope in my pocket, I guess. Does rope fit in a pocket? Can rope fit in a pocket?
You can
tie it around your
like,
waist.
sling it over your shoulder or something, yeah.
Okay, just so I have it on me now.
You can just, like, tie the corkboard to your back.
There you go.
Got a
Do one of those,
corkboard
like,
turtle.
underarm ties.
We're in turtle mode now.
Because I feel like, you know, when I sent Pierce out there, I just felt like it was now like a 5-3 fight, and that seemed more fair.
Yeah.
They don't really need me.
So once you've gotten down, do you try to, like, go outside?
I'll grab one of the tubes too, just for study.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll go outside.
Of the nitro?
Yeah.
So, beginning of this turn will be slightly different. Because it will start with a car screeching up towards the front of the warehouse.
Fuck.
And one of the doors opening. One of the, like, doors that is now to, like, the side of the car that is facing away from you. and a figure gets out, pops a rifle on it, on like the top of the car, and starts to aim.
Question.
Okay.
Is that the side of the building I just walked out of with the corkboard?
No, you'd probably go out. I'm assuming you'd go out to the same side as the other two guys had escaped.
Okay, so there are other doors.
Yes.
Whew, okay, good.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It's a warehouse. There's a lot of ways in and out.
I just felt like I was just like closing the front door, and then that happens, and I'm like, well, I was just stopping by. No, this isn't your corkboard. This is my corkboard. You have one like this too?
So yeah. Anyways, basically pops the rifle down on top of the roof, and basically just like yells like, "Phantoms, leave now!"
It's a phantom.
All right, then he takes a shot. Let me see what his bonus is, because I don't remember offhand. Yes. Tom, roll me athletics.
It's a -1.
Okay. So that's a 9 stress hit.
Jesus.
I'm gonna say that's a severe.
Don't take a severe.
Well, okay. I take if it's 9 and I take a moderate, I still have 5 health damage.
Yeah.
This
Just
is my
concede.
3.
Just concede.
Yeah, you can't
Hey,
just concede, and you'll just be out.
I'll concede.
Because that severe is gonna last forever.
Yes, I know. I just kind of like having characters that are bundles of damage and neuroses.
But is conceding really that much better? Then he'll just be stuck here.
Okay, Tom, I have a question for you about Pierce. How would you describe him as far as, like, size? Like, is he, like, a fairly, like, large guy, or is he, like, kind of, like, thin and, like, scrawny? Like, what kind of build?
I would assume he's broad, but not, like, either fat or muscly. He's just kind of in the middle. Because, I mean, if he's going to have extensive facial piercings, at least his face has to be wide enough for it to matter. So, I'm gonna say...
So, like, middle of the road?
Yeah, middle of the road, broad figure.
Okay. Alright. Here's what's gonna happen after that.
I'll be taken hostage, aren't I?
Well, you won't. Well, you might. you sort of, like, go down hard. I don't know if it's out of shock or if you get, like, actually hit, but, like, you are essentially, like, numb to what's happening. You're sort of, like, hearing and seeing everything, but you can't really move.
He shoots my cane and it flies back and bonks me on the face.
Sure. But everyone else will hear a voice from behind you, sort of like through the forest, just yell out like, "God damn it!" And like a figure runs out from the forest and like hauls back their arm and throws a knife as hard as they can, whizzes past you and like sort of like lands like in the roof of the car, causing the guy to like duck down. Like this was a very good shot. And the figure runs over, grabs Pierce, and just starts running to the forest, just like, "Let's fucking go!"
Can we just start following?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll run.
Like it.
We fucking book it.
Thank God.
Use it.
Roll me alertness for any of you who would like.
I assume not me.
Yeah, not you.
Let's see if it'll.
2.
treat me kind. It didn't treat me kind. That's a 0.
What do you have, Emily?
2.
All right. I will say Anna, but not Emily. I know you got the same score, but Anna had a better look previously. You're pretty sure this is the person you chased out a window one time.
Okay. Things are being weird. That is questions to be made here in a moment. Right now, run.
Yep. So I think that's where we're going to end the session tonight.
Okay.
Sounds good. I like how the random person's running with Pierce on his back. I'm running carrying a giant corkboard.
Yeah. This is part of the reason why I was like, maybe you could strap it to your back.
Yeah, I like that.
Because, like, it also makes some sense, but it's better for running through a forest when it's just attached to you. Well, that was fun. I think that was very good. Answered a lot of questions. Definitely didn't bring up any more. I think everything's probably more clear than it was when we started, right?
No.
Oh, huh.
I can't think of a single question that was answered at all.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think number one, we get this corkboard to to our information broker and will be good for their plans. We know that the folks working for the pages don't know about the dome. We know that they may, in fact, be causing the werewolf attacks. And they're making explosives.
Honestly, what I'm really looking forward to, and I hope it gets to happen and that we don't just get too sidetracked from everything else going on, is just meeting up with the rumor mill again and being like, so did you find out anything about their plans? And they're like, yes! Slam!
You just slam it down and she's like, I saw it on your back, right?
Oh.
That was fun. I've been waiting for this kind of thing to happen in this. My favorite thing about this campaign is just the idea that, like, the big, like, end of Act 1, beginning of Act 2 is where things got crazy. And then every scene thereafter, things get crazy.
I feel like I took more damage in this fight than I ever have before.
Possibly. At least so far. It's been a battle light campaign up until now, specifically because I planned that because you've already done part of the campaign, and I thought it would be more fun to give you a little freedom to, like, redo things and then figure out stuff is weird.
Makes sense.
But don't worry, things will change.
Okay.
Over or under on the mysterious person being someone we know from last campaign?
But I would hope so.
I mean, the real question is the Gatekeeper Rose from the last campaign in the past? Is this a prequel campaign?
No. Ellis served the Gatekeeper. They were not the Gatekeeper.
Ellis served the Lords of the Gate.
Oh, true.
Ellis was the Gatekeeper.
Maybe.
Ellis wasn't that good of a shot.
No, they were not.
No, Ellis was great at getting shot.
Okay.
I did consider having the Gatekeeper take a shot at Ellis, or at Anna specifically, because of the connection. But then Tom said something, I'm like, yeah, that's good enough, isn't he?
Also, we're phantoms, apparently.
If that other person hadn't shown up, I was totally just gonna be like, let me take my friend and we'll fucking leave. Just don't shoot me while I grab him.
Ironically, like a phantom, I am indeed going ghost right now.
Yeah, you sure are.
Also, apologies for the internet.
I'm
gonna head out.
It happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll, get better.
Bye.
Yeah, this is weird. Bye.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next
Bye.
time.
Good night.
Yeah, I'm going to.